Yo, welcome back to another episode of Player versus Team, aka PVT. Now, we are back. We took a little hiatus last week, had some technical difficulties with the internet. You know how it is, trying to get out of the winter season and transit to the spring season out here in California. So the rain and the wind, El Nino showed his ugly head, but we back. How we doing today, fellas? Got my boys back. You already know what it is.
Doing all right, man. Can't complain.
You know, same old, going to work, waking up, doing the same thing over and over again. We about to get this thing cracking though, because there's a whole bunch to dive into in the world of
definitely.
Facts.
Most definitely. Now, DJ Michael B, before we get started, I want to ask you a question. Can I get a solid 5 of your favorite white people songs from the list of last night?
Okay, I'm going to start with
this from last night. What's this?
Yeah, so since Willie asked, last night we did the white bangers that black people love.
Oh God.
We made a whole list. For those of you on here that don't know, the list will be out. The playlist will be out soon on Spotify. Mr. Gent did write down every single song. He's making a Spotify list. Should be out by Sunday. I'm gonna go with "Apologize" by One Republic.
Oh, I like that. It's starting off hot.
I'm gonna go with "In the Air" tonight, Phil Collins.
Ooh.
I'm gonna go to "Bring Me to Life," Evanescence.
Okay,
that's a good one.
"My Heart Will Go On," Celine Dion.
Mm.
And of course, the song I call the greatest song by a white person ever, "Bleeding Love" by Leona Lewis.
Hey, that bleeding love hits different. I'm not gonna lie to you. That bleeding love is different. Now, the reason why I asked my boy DJ Michael B this is because
that's my shit.
He is not only our resident DJ, but he is a professional DJ. So his opinion on just that perfect 5-song lineup on white bangers that black people love is important. So I had to get that on the record for PVT. There we go. Now, fellas, are we ready to get into this nerd question of the day?
Let's get it.
Yes, let's get it. Let's do it.
Now, we're going to start with the lovely graphic that Willie dropped in the chat today. Don't have it on the screen, but we do have it in the chat. It is a 2v2 Doomsday and Superman v. the Hulk and Thor. Now, let's add some context. These are random encounters, okay? Current forms.
Thor's nasty right now.
Disgusting right now. Fellas?
Current forms as in the comics or as Marvel series and DC series?
As in the comics.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, bro. Look, if we going with as Superman ain't bloodthirsty, so I'm going with Hulk and Thor. It's just saying. It ain't a bloodthirsty Superman, so I'm going with Hulk and Thor.
Thor's just sick in the comics right now. Immortality, Phoenix Force. He's just sick in the comics right now. And if you're looking at current Hulk, he's up there as well. Will always be up there. Me and Moo was talking about this earlier, and it was also got asked in our Geek Gauntlet group. And Cat resonate with those same sentiments on the fact that we don't know if Doomsday would continue to team with Superman. Doomsday might just flip the switch and say, "I'm here to kill you, not team with you." Mm-hmm. So in essence, Superman have to go against Doomsday too. So I gotta go with Hulk and Thor. Like I said, Thor is just sick. Shout out to Marvel for finally giving him an upgrade. He still lacks speed that Clark has, but that immortality, man, That's tough.
You know what? I don't care about the speed so much because the angrier Hulk gets, the faster he gets, and the stronger he gets. And I think that's gonna be Superman and Hulk will go at it. Thor's gonna beat the crap out of Doomsday. I don't care what nobody got to say. Thor right now in the comics is
He's
OP.
sick.
He's OP.
Yep.
He's literally OD, bro.
He's just sick.
I don't even know Superman right now is stronger than Thor in the comics.
At this current stage, no.
I don't think so.
No. With the current upgrades that Thor has gotten, like especially with the Phoenix Force, it's oh my goodness.
Just
gracious.
sick,
Like,
man. Just sick.
even with the power of the cosmics that Superman has now, like that's a
You know
that's
what?
a big ask.
You know what? Fuck that. Let's be serious. If Superman ain't in the Earth's sun, Thor would beat the dog shit out of him. And that's where I'm going with this.
And that's the thing, because like Thor can literally like just transport him to a barren planet now.
Thor is his strength anywhere he goes. Superman is not.
Thor had, but they play devil's advocate though. That's a hell of a scout out on Thor's part because if we're looking at this with no prep time and a random encounter, that's a hell of a call out. But
okay,
he could do it. Thor can do it.
So if you're looking at this with no prep time and a random call out, and Thor doesn't have prep time, the Hulk, I feel, still matches Superman in speed and strength because the madder he gets, the faster he gets, and the stronger he gets. So I'm still saying Hulk can match Superman enough to where Thor beat the shit out of Doomsday. Doomsday don't want the problems with Hulk or Thor.
Yeah.
Because I still think there's a very high possibility that Doomsday gets to tripping out of nowhere. Like, he'll
just start tripping. I'm gonna kill.
I'm not even here with them. I'm just here to kill you. Like,
I'm just here to kill you. The hell with them. I'm here to kill you.
You know, so
that's your sole ambition in life is to kill Superman. Even though that's not the same Superman that did that to him.
True.
Superman is Superman. So period. The end. You don't care what Superman it is.
At the end of the day. All right. So for this next part, as we know, there is a new Avatar series coming. We don't necessarily know the name of it yet, right? We have Avatar: The Last Airbender. We have The Legend of Korra. We're not too sure what this one is going to be called.
I just want to point out, when you said there's a new Avatar series coming, I didn't know if you were talking about Avatar the movie or if you was talking about Aang.
Oh yeah,
Avatar.
So we're not necessarily too sure on the full name, but we do have. Well, actually, we just got an official title. Hold on, it's actually called now Avatar Safe Havens.
Okay.
Or excuse me, hold on. No, Avatar 7 Havens. Excuse me.
Okay.
So cool. Yeah, it is said to be released on Nickelodeon, a sequel to Avatar: The Last Airbender and The Legend of Korra, focusing on a new Avatar who must navigate a world shattered by cataclysm and hunted by both humans and spirits. Alongside her long-lost twin, the series is created by original Avatar creators. So the original creators have came back to step in and make this one. So how are we feeling so far about the premise of the show, fellas?
Well, because of the original creators, I feel like I'm okay with it because it's the original creators. I don't know how they're going to tie it into the last one. Maybe they do something completely separate and brand new, but because it's the original creators, I think I'm okay with it. I'm interested. I want to know what kind of story they're going to do. But you say if it's the same creators of the last one, well, the creators of the last one didn't let us down, so I'm good with that.
I want to see if they bring back the voice cast. That's what I want to see.
As we do know, Dante Bosco, the voice of Zuko and General Iroh from The Legend of Korra, is rumored to be returning. We're not too sure about the others, but from words of the podcast that Dante Bosco does on YouTube, it is promising that we're going to get a lot of the old cast members back.
Good.
But on the plus side too, though, I just feel like, okay, we're getting a lot of the original voice actors and things like that. I'm more interested to know what the story is going to follow and how it continues with The Last Airbender. Does it continue with The Last Airbender, or does it start a brand new series of a whole new avatar that doesn't know Aang or Korra or none of this?
That's interesting.
And it is, because from what I got from the premise, it's supposed to be the new avatar is supposed to be an earthbender. Now, I'm not too sure how connected they're going to be with Korra or with Aang, because we don't know exactly what transpired prior to, I guess, them being named the Avatar, because there's always that kind of like low period in between. And we all know that Korra opened up the spirit world, she left it open, and we don't necessarily know what could have transpired after that. So with things that are in the description, like being hunted by spirits and humans, and the Avatar being the world's destroyer, not the world's hero, that something tells me that's like the last Avatar, meaning Korra, had to have did something so catastrophic that left both the human world and the spirit world in shambles, that now the new Avatar, whether they're young, whether they're old, has to now navigate both the spirit world and
you have to navigate it and fix it.
Like fixing other Avatar's mistakes, which is, I guess, going to be interesting, because how are you supposed to learn bending when the spirits hate you and the people that are supposed to be helping you, i.e. the people, vendors, hate you as well, right? So,
plus they did Korra wrong at the end of the day. The way that was written, that was just jacked up. That was just jacked up, man. The creator the writers messed her up big time. Oh my! Not that I'm a fan of Korra. Don't get me wrong, but I'm not a fan of Korra. But they messed that thing up big time. Oh my gosh!
I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm more interested in knowing when the second season of the live action is coming out than them creating a new Avatar. I really am.
Well, you remember these are two different creators, though. So
I know it's two different creators. I'm just saying that the live action Avatar was so captivating.
It was good.
I kind of want to know what they're going to do, because they're taking little things from the cartoon, but not everything. So I'm interested to know what they're going to do with the live action next. More so than them creating a new cartoon. Does this count as anime? I don't think it counts as anime.
Depends on how you look at it.
Borderline.
Yeah, I'm more interested in live action than I am in the cartoon version of it. So,
but they gotta be careful, and they trending on thin ice, because that anime is gonna have to be good. If that anime is not good, it's not gonna be seen as nothing more than a cash grab, and it's gonna have to be good. If Dragon Ball Diorama wasn't so good, it would be considered a cash grab for Dragon Ball. So
I haven't seen Dragon Ball Diamond, so I don't know how good it is or not.
Yeah, it's
I
good.
finally found a website that will let me.
At first, I thought it was gonna suck, but I decided to give a couple episodes.
Everybody said
I didn't think it was gonna suck,
man. I thought it was gonna suck.
So, like I didn't think it was gonna suck. I just thought maybe because Akira isn't writing it, it wasn't gonna be
the same.
A good, yeah, like it wouldn't be the same. But everybody's saying it was like, man, that shit good. So
yeah, it's good. I
finally found a website that will let me watch it dubbed.
There you go. But the one thing I did like about that Dragon Ball is the fact it took the element from GT with Super Saiyan 4. I love that. I
Well, you know,
love
they had to
that.
finally tie it in. There was a lot
They
of
had
fans who were
to.
asking
They had
for
to. They had to
that
make it
to be
canon at some
finally
point.
tied in.
Particularly when
So
you
that finally
particularly
was-
when you take that movie up until
They
I said,
did
when you took the last movie up until I'm saying the last movie ain't canon. What?
yeah, you can't do that.
What?
I don't think you had to use Super Saiyan 4. But I guess they had to find a way to make.
Had to find a way.
Seen
I
it, but
think they
know
had to
go-
find a way. I think they had to find a way to justify it.
I feel like right. They had to find a way to justify it, and not only that, I feel like they had to find a way to justify Goku being stronger than Gohan again,
Yeah.
because I think everybody always like, listen, dog, Beast Gohan is stronger than Ultra Instinct Goku. I think most of the universe all thought that, and so bringing back Super Saiyan, like I haven't even seen what it looks like in Daima or nothing, so I have to go watch
Boy,
it because I finally found it dub because I don't watch shit sub. It annoys me when
boy,
grown ass women are playing
go.
grown ass man.
Boy, that's a
Yeah.
fancy.
He says
Boy,
about
you,
it. I don't want to hear no comment. Nope, I don't want to hear that shit.
if you don't like Super Saiyan 4, don't go look at this last fanfic Dragon Ball got, because this last fanfic Dragon Ball got
I
Goku
like
goes
Super
to
Saiyan.
go,
I
go
like Super Saiyan
Gohan,
when it was in
Goku go
GT. I just
Goku
haven't seen it in Diamond yet. So
Goku in this last fan fiction with Super Saiyan 5.
Hmm.
In this last fan fiction, I said, what the
saw
hell?
when Super Saiyan 5 and
Super
he
Saiyan
went
5?
against another Super Saiyan 5 guy, and I forgot the guy's name. And yeah, man. Hey, look, fan mangas be fired in a motherfucker.
They do.
That's why the one when they brought right at the bat.
But
and
sometimes I got to tell you, I got to tell you guys, like I told other people, sometimes you gotta pump the brakes on some of this stuff. Because when you go look at Dragon Ball, you remember back in the day, the rest of the crew mattered. Piccolo, Krillin, Tien, the rest of the crew mattered. But what happened once you saw these these new transformations come into play? All those guys, all of them got pushed back to the back of the line, and you hardly ever saw them again.
Here's what I will say with Dragon Ball Super did.
Yeah.
Dragon Ball Super brought Tien and Krillin and Master Roshi back to relevancy. But like Chaozu and Yamcha, they could sit their ass on the sideline.
Well, he got a manga too.
Yamcha went to depression after Bulma broke up with him for Vegeta.
Well, you know, he got a manga too where he got a manga too to where instead of Goku being the hero is him.
Yeah,
that's dumb as hell.
I don't know.
Dumb as hell.
That's stupid. There's no universe where Yamcha can be stronger than Goku. Because Goku's a freaking alien and Yamcha is a human.
Yep.
Yamcha, Tien, Chaozu, and Krillin are all humans. Yep. There's no way they're stronger than an alien.
There you go. And that's what I've been trying to tell people. Like, I think people forget that. Like, these aren't just regular, when they say Goku and, you know, Vegeta, they're from Earth, and they're not Earthlings, though. Y'all forget they are aliens, okay? You have to remember, these niggas they're not from here.
Like, hey, and not only that, Krillin is only the strongest because Tien would have been the strongest. Krillin's only the strongest human because when they went to Namek, he had
potential unlocked.
His potential unlocked.
Yep.
Which begs me and my homeboy was talking about this after work yesterday, which begs the understanding or the question: is Beast Gohan a half Saiyan feature because he got his potential unlocked by the Supreme Kai, or is it a Super Saiyan transformation? And we couldn't figure it. We sat there and talked for like 30 minutes, so we couldn't figure out the answer. Because
probably the first one.
Because if it is a Super Saiyan transformation, why didn't Trunks go through it in Dragon Ball Super when he went Super Saiyan Rage instead?
And see, that's the reason why I'm saying, like, I think it's more the first one about him just getting his potential unlocked. Because remember,
that's what I said too.
He said that he would try to focus more on
going his own route.
Yeah, going his own route and getting stronger without having to rely on the Super Saiyan. So when I think about Beast Gohan, I think about him channeling his potential unlock and channeling his basically his other side and using that type of strength, but at the same time channeling his same strength and his same energy to create something different.
Right.
And
I got you.
I straight up said, I said, man, I think it's because Saiyans are half human. Gohan is half human and half Saiyan. I don't think Gohan can achieve Super Saiyan 4 because he's not a pure blooded Saiyan. But
that would make
on the
sense.
flip side, you react emotionally because that's how Earthlings are. And I think because your latent ability is unlocked, your feelings unlock your latent ability and turn it into power. And that's why you transform into what you transform as a half human, half Saiyan.
I think that makes sense. I'm not gonna lie to you. Yeah, I think that makes sense. I think that makes more sense than him, and then it being another Super Saiyan transformation. Because,
but also though, here's an even better one. Can a Namekian only go orange if they are fused with another Namekian?
That's a good question.
I don't think so. And the reason why I come to that rationale is because you look at Piccolo, he actually fused with 2 Namekians. So with that right there, that's the catalyst to make Orange happen. That's the catalyst to make Orange say no.
But you are kind of making my point here with, is it only a thing when the Namekians are fused?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It is.
Yeah.
I think so. Because that's the catalyst. That's the catalyst for Piccolo getting stronger. As both of those fusions. And remember, there was a time in Dragon Ball, and Vegeta said so himself, that has Piccolo finally surpassed me in strength?
He did. No, he definitely did. When he was fighting Android 17, Kami, and he was keeping up. If Piccolo didn't run out of ki, Piccolo definitely beat the shit out of Android 17. He was kicking his ass. He was kicking his ass. The Piccolo versus 17 is one of the best fights in Dragon Ball Z.
Well, I mean, a lot of people forget that the only reason why Piccolo lost that fight is because Android 17 was an android. He had unlimited energy. Like if he was just a regular person at the same power level as Android 17, Piccolo's walking that man.
Yeah. And that's what I'm saying.
Up and down the
highway. Kicking his ass.
So
even Vegeta admitted it. He was like, "What? That's the Namekian. That's that strong." Like, yeah, nigga, he's super. Like people forget Piccolo once he fused with Kami was Super Saiyan 2 power level.
Yeah, it was like that. People forgetting on my dog, man.
That's it, and that's what people get mad about this movie, because now he done went orange. We finally get the Piccolo we want to see. We finally get the hashtag free Piccolo, and now you telling us it's not canon?
Yeah, no, they tripping.
Y'all tripping. Y'all tripping big time.
I think Orange Piccolo is I think Orange Piccolo is as strong as Super Saiyan 3.
Regardless, he's behind. He's right behind Goku and Vegeta.
Yeah,
right behind him.
I think he's weaker than Gohan, but he's stronger than Trunks, and he's stronger than Goten. When they're Super Saiyan, and he's stronger than most of the people they fight.
Yep, and he's the fourth strongest on that tier list if you're looking at it, because you got Gohan, you got Goku, you got Vegeta, and he's right there. He's right there.
With that new form, he definitely is.
Yep. And it's a damn shame that it's not canon. Okay.
And that's the thing.
A lot of people.
Who said it's not canon?
They can't say it's not canon when it's literally in. When it's literally in.
Wait a minute. But Dragon Ball Super,
a couple of days after that movie released, they announced that movie wasn't canon to the universe.
That's bullshit. Because every movie released after Dragon Ball Z, the Lost Chapters, is all canon.
But that movie isn't.
Except GT.
But that movie isn't.
What movie isn't?
Did Toriyama say it wasn't canon?
Yeah. They said that movie wasn't canon. They said that movie was not canon.
Tora is the author.
Tora is the creator of that.
The creator of
And
Superman.
and he said it wasn't. He said the movie wasn't canon, which I thought was stupid.
So that doesn't make sense if it's in the manga though.
I don't understand why he said that. It's
That's
on
what I'm
YouTube.
about to say. It literally.
It's on YouTube.
The whole movie
Now
is in
he
the
might
manga.
he might have changed it since that point, but he said when that movie came out, it wasn't canon, and that just floored me. So you came up with this movie for what? Nothing.
Yeah.
What was a fan fest or a fan tease?
Yeah, no, it has to be because the
No,
manga is about to start back
I
up.
think that one should be considered canon.
It should be.
The manga is about to start back up.
Because every other movie after Dragon Ball Z
Don't the manga start? Don't the manga start back next month?
Yeah, the manga's coming back next month. They're about to start the Black Frieza arc.
Oh shit! Oh shit!
So like, I'm trying to figure out. Like, they can't say it's not. Like, nah, that don't make sense. That don't make sense.
I want them to animate the Galactic Warrior arc Moro. That's what I want.
Yeah. I want the Moro. I want the Granola arc. I'm waiting for that. I'm waiting for that. I'm waiting for that. I'm waiting for Tora.
You know what? I'm even to the point where I want a Goten and Trunks movie. Cause Bio Broly wasn't it, bro.
Bio Broly sucked.
Yeah.
Whoever had that idea, that was a horrible fucking idea. That movie sucks.
They're supposed to be getting shine within these next few chapters. When the manga comes back. But no. We'll see. Because we got Goku, we got Vegeta with the new forms. Of course, we got Gohan, Piccolo. But that's the thing. They've been hinting that Piccolo is supposed to be the main. It's supposed to train those two and know how to get stronger and how to achieve a different form, and also perfect the fusion and achieve a different form in the fusion. So and
that's what I'm saying. I felt like they should have waited with Daima. I felt like they should have waited to debut Super Saiyan 4 with Gotenks, because Gotenks and Goku are the only ones to get to Super Saiyan 3. I felt like they should have waited and get Gotenks to go Super Saiyan 4 for the first time over Goku or Vegeta.
And I
that
just
would have
checked.
been a better, because neither Trunks nor Goten can go Super Saiyan 2 right now.
And I just checked it. Yeah, it's manga canon.
that makes sense. It's manga
canon. It's not anime canon, but it's manga canon. So okay.
Yeah, because I'm like, I specifically remember seeing that goddamn special being canon in fucking black and white and going through goddamn Cell Max's goddamn chest. Like, yeah. I specifically remember reading that. Like,
let me tell y'all.
It's not anime canon, but it's manga canon. So there you go.
Nothing pissed me off more with Dragon Ball Super than them telling me Cell is coming back, and Perfect Cell didn't come back to talk his shit.
I think that's
he would have got waxed up anyway. He would have got waxed up anyway. He would have got waxed up anyway. But I get your point.
That's the only thing we missed is a Cell.
I mean, no. They could have recreated Cell Max, because Cell Max was kicking everybody.
So it could have been. So you're saying it could have been Cell Max,
as Perfect Cell.
Right. That's what I'm saying. That's what I was about to say. Okay, I got you. Yeah, that would have been cool. Versus the beast that we got.
True. That makes sense. All right, fellas. Hey, that was a really dope.
Hello there, Goku.
Really dope nerd conversation, man. Y'all like more of that? Make sure you guys tune into the Geek Gauntlet podcast on Saturdays,
10 p.m. Eastern.
10 p.m. Eastern. Okay, yes. My boy Willie. All right, really dope comic book, video game, anime, cartoon, whatever you classify as nerd shit, they got it over there, and it's really dope. So make sure you go check that out. All right, fellas, let's go ahead and talk a little football. Just when you thought The NFL season was over. They said, surprise, motherfucker. We're not done yet. All right. So, starting off, all right, we got a lot to go over. All right.
We're gonna do it. Hey, let me do this one.
Oh, man,
Debo gets traded from the 49ers to the Washington Commanders.
to the Washington
Commander.
Commanders.
Yes. Yes, Lord. I don't think this is gonna go down the way a lot of people think it's gonna go down, because Debo's not that guy receiver. He's a gadget guy. He's not that guy receiver. He doesn't get a lot of separation. You have to scheme him open on picks, have to create stuff for him, maybe like on bubble screens and things like that. I still think he helps between the creativity, and you could put him in the backfield too, but y'all thinking, a lot of people think that him and Terry McLaurin together is going to be all that. From a receiver standpoint, I don't think he's going to be all that.
DJ Michael B, what you got?
I personally think that Willie is right. I think Willie is right, because for the simple fact that Brandon Ayuk is the best receiver in San Francisco.
Yep.
Debo's best days are behind him because he's ran the ball too much, and he's caught the ball in traffic too much, and has took too many hits. And he's took hits like a running back. He's doubled up on hits because of being a receiver and a running back and a gadget guy. I absolutely agree with what Willie's saying. I'm not saying he can't make an impact in Washington, but he won't be the difference that will push them over either.
Right.
I think Willie's right. And I think Debo will probably be 1,000-yard guy between rushing and receiving.
All purpose.
He'll probably be 1,000-yard guy, which I don't doubt. But I don't think Debo at this point is a game changer either. I'm going with Willie here. I think that team will go as Scary Terry goes and as Jaden Daniel goes. I think Debo will probably be 4th or 5th on the depth chart overall as important players on this team.
I think that's fair. I'm not gonna lie. I think that's fair.
And the only thing I hate about this move is the fact, and I hope it doesn't slow down the development of Noah Brown, because I like Noah Brown.
True. True. I like him a lot too. The only thing about the Debo thing is you're going to a new division. You got the Eagles and it's the Super Bowl champs. Obviously, you got the Cowboys, which is rival to the Niners. You're gonna have to see them twice a year.
They just freed up some cap space, so let's see what they do.
But I just think that with this Debo acquisition, it brings a veteran presence. It gives them a different dynamic as far as running the ball, but like they've already been a really good team. So unless this is more for a short yardage situation, so you don't have to get Jaden involved as much, I can understand that as well. But like Willie said, he's not a top receiver. Like, he doesn't run really good routes. He can't get separation. And with the hits he's acquired throughout his career, it's really only a matter of time before you start to see his body dwindle, and you have to use him in a different way. That's not really his strength. So, and then it's going to be interesting to see. I think the chemistry between him and Jaden in the quick game should be really positive, but I think the jury's out. Me and Willie did say that Zach Ertz should have really strong emergence this year.
He should eat. If everything goes right as far as health goes with this team, Zach should eat. Because at this point, it's pick your poison. All right, we're gonna take Debo on a reverse, Debo on a double on a bubble screen. Look, I hate Austin Eckler, but I'm not gonna say he's not a good running back. He can still get the job done. Mr. Brian Robinson Jr., Mr. I just know how to run a straight line. Don't know the first thing about a cutback. He gonna have to get better. But and Noah Brown, of course, he's got top end speed. So this team should be good.
I think the team will still be good, and I think they can make a deep playoff run. But I think where people are misconstrued is what they think Debo Samuel is going to matter a lot more than he is in the offense.
Nah. He gonna help, but he ain't gonna be the reason why they win.
Right.
He gonna help though.
Yeah, people think like he's going to be the difference, and
no,
I don't. I just feel like he's going to be a decent number 2.
Yeah.
Or
like an even more solid number 3, just kind of a guy.
Right. I don't see it, and people do think about 3-4 years ago where they saw Debo as the guy, and Debo as the guy has took a lot of hits as the guy, and I think Debo could get about 1,100 yards out of this year, and it's only gonna go down. It's only gonna go down from there. So, not saying he won't be good enough to be Brandon Ayuk's number 2, and Brandon Ayuk, I think, will get about 1,500, and Debo will get about 1,000 to 1,200 yards, and they'll be a formidable duo. But
me Terry McLaurin.
Yeah, my bad, Terry McLaurin. Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't see like most people. I see like y'all see it. I think Debo is good, and it's like, okay, Debo can play, and Jaden Daniels he can throw the ball, but I don't think at this point Debo is not. He's not a number 1. I don't even think he's a number 1.5.
Yeah,
that's fair.
Maybe a low end 2, top end 3.
He faded away, and Ayuk took over, which is personally fine because I think Ayuk is better than what Debo was in his prime. And it's no slight on Debo. Debo was really good. It's no slight on Debo, but I just think Brandon Ayuk is levels above him.
Oh yeah.
As far as it goes with
as far as being a receiver is concerned,
right? Definitely. As far as being a receiver, because some people are just versatile enough where they can play multiple positions. Brandon Ayuk is a guy who's elite at one position, which is the receiver. And because you're elite at that position, nobody can take that away from you. So, yeah.
All right.
He's a hell of a football player. I will give him that, but
yeah,
he's not what people are thinking he's going to be a receiver. He's just not going to be that guy.
The Jaguars and the Texans have traded for Christian Kirk. 7th round goes to the Jags. Christian Kirk goes to the Texans. As we do have a resident Houston Texans fan, we're going to start off with him. DJ Michael B, how we feeling? His face says it all.
I'm not saying there's anything wrong with this trade, okay?
Oh my God.
You get a 7th round pick for Christian Kirk, a guy who hasn't been the guy, but you're getting a guy in the 7th round who has been a solid number 2 and number 3. Tank Dell isn't coming back, obviously. He tore his MCL, ACL, and meniscus and PCL.
Yep.
And that's that. I don't want to sound insensitive by saying that's fine, but like, okay, we'll deal with it, right? Then they go out there and they trade and they get Christian Kirk, which I'm not mad with. Christian Kirk is better than most people give him credit for, right? He might not be a true number 1. He's definitely a true number 2 who can ball out and get yards, okay? Here's my problem. The Texans are addressing everything else except the one goddamn thing they need to address.
I think I see it coming.
So somebody want to explain to me what the Texans need to address?
Uh-oh. Here it comes.
Offensive line.
What the fuck are y'all doing? What are y'all
Offensive
doing?
line. Offensive line.
It's plain as day. Let me tell you, you can get all the receivers you want. Bruh, I don't care what you say.
He didn't got started now. I'm gonna let him go.
If CJ Stroud can't get 2.5 seconds to throw this damn ball,
It ain't
when
gonna
he
matter.
hikes it, what are we doing here?
It ain't gonna matter if he can't throw the football.
What are y'all doing? Like, I get it. If somebody has you know what? If somebody has a good lineman, they're not just gonna let the lineman walk in free agency. But god damn, pick up good players from the draft.
I think I see the point to this though, because they did give Diggs the permission to go and see what he can do to test the free agent market.
No.
So
But you know what? That's what I'm saying. I have no problem with them letting Diggs go, and I have no problem with them signing Christian Kirk. My only problem with the Texans is they're addressing every other issue
they're addressing a strength.
except the issue that is the main issue.
Right.
Everybody's sitting here saying, had they had an offensive line, it would be the Chiefs.
Facts.
Had they had an offensive line, instead of going, what was it, 10-7 or 9-8, they would have went 14-3 instead. Had they been able to protect the quarterback, they would have went 14-3. That's my only issue. It's like,
that's valid.
He got the same issue Joe Burrow got.
You have nobody to protect your quarterback. You got rid of your offensive. Obviously, he deserved to get rid of though, because he sucked to me. I always told y'all he was garbage, but nonetheless, I never thought he was good. But now that you got rid of him, who are you? That'd be one of them things, Moo. You know what I'm saying? Hey, we're gonna fire this nigga, and the next nigga comes like, but who's better?
And my boy is valid right now on all of his in everything he's saying. Okay, as not only just as a Texas,
I would agree for sure. I would agree.
Like, because it comes from a different vitriol when you're a Texas fan, but when you actually know the game of football and you actually know what your team needs to address, of course,
right,
the frustrations build up. So he's valid in everything he says.
It's it's one of them things where we were like, we got to protect Deshaun Watson's blind side. Texans go and get Dwayne Brown. Boom! Legit. I don't give a damn if you got to give up a first round pick for this nigga. Thank you. Deshaun Watson was protected on his blind side. CJ ain't. Every time CJ hikes the ball, it has to be a rollout.
Yeah.
Because if it's not a rollout, he is in trouble to get sacked.
Yeah.
And it's like, come on, man. Y'all got to do something here. If I was the Texans, I'd go the Cowboys route. Take the best lineman this year. Take the best lineman next year. And then take the next lineman, the next best lineman the year after that. Take all of them, put them on a line and be like, all right, we got all the receivers we need. We got a running back. We got this and this. Even if you take 2 top offensive linemen this year, or guards. You got your left guard, your right guard. All right, you're protecting the quarterback. Boom. Elite and elite from the SEC. Here we go. Boom. Let's run like that. Please, anything that can help will help, man. And just move. I don't know. I just don't know.
What if they go get Cam Robinson out of Minnesota and give him a big payday?
I would love it. Anything. We don't need receivers. We don't need a top receiver. We don't need a second or third receiver. We don't need a first CB. We don't need a first or second CB. We have a nickel CB.
Your defense is
we have a good free safety. we have a good safety. Bro, the only thing y'all niggas are missing is offensive linemen, but you keep going and trying to draft other offensive players, whether it be tight end, slots, over the top. Like, nigga, we don't need none of that besides somebody to protect the damn port.
Oh, his rage.
Hey, my boy,
His rage done knocked him off. His rage done knocked him off.
My boy done literally raged out. It's probably
He
the
done
first
raged out
from the sideline history.
Out. He said,
full blown
rage
hey,
out.
I'm not gonna lie to you. That was a top tier crash out moment, bro. Top tier. Okay?
Top tier crash
bro.
out. Oh my goodness.
That was top tier. I'm not gonna lie to you. That was top tier. See, this is the reason why it's good to have resident fans on the show, because they understand what it takes and what their team needs, and it's a different energy, right? It's just like me in the Raiders. You know what I'm saying? It's just like Willie and the Saints. Okay, we all understand where my boy DJ Michael B is coming from right now. Okay, all right.
Yep.
Like we for sure get it. Okay, I done raged out and crashed out on this podcast so many times. Okay, but my boy done leveled up. Okay, because he literally crashed out of the whole podcast. Okay, like that's different. That is next level. I don't think y'all understand. That's next level. I love it. All right. Now, before we go on to these other trades,
I'm about to start flipping shit because it's ridiculous.
I wanted to bring this to y'all. I wanted to see how y'all felt about it. The NFL is getting rid of the chain game.
Getting rid of what? I didn't hear you.
The NFL is getting rid of the chain game. There will be no more chains on the sidelines of the NFL. They would be using
somebody's lost their job.
An AI or camera system.
Somebody just lost their job for AI in the NFL.
Get a precise
some little kid done lost his job.
Measurement.
Let me tell you why this is a bad idea.
It's terrible.
It's a terrible idea. But let me tell you why this is a terrible idea. It's a terrible idea because of everything y'all are thinking in your heads right now. It's terrible. And somebody would be like, well, we need the most accurate. That's fine. But human mistakes, looking and measuring and things like that, human mistakes are what make the game of football a game of inches.
Yeah. That's a good
I'm not trusting ChatGPT to tell me my team got the first down. I ain't trusting that shit. No.
There's the reason why. There's the reason why they call us in the game of inches.
The human element matters. It matters. Baseball trying to go the same damn way. The human element matters.
Okay, I'm not gonna lie. Wait. I'm not gonna lie. If you're talking about whether it's a strike or not, I fucks with it because I'm tired of seeing shit. And I'm like,
the pitch count, right?
The pitch counter.
Pitch counter, yeah.
Yeah. That's why I got it. I ain't gonna. If you're gonna do balls and strikes, I ain't got no problem with it. But
I don't have a problem with the pitch counter. My only problem with the pitch counter is, why do you have a job? The pitch counter, it's like, nigga, it doesn't matter. The pitch counter makes no adjustments to the game.
Oh shit!
None.
He's literally just counting.
Like I never understood when it was like, hey, we're in the fifth inning and the pitcher is at 75 throws in. So the fuck what?
That's the job of your skipper, to be honest with you.
If he's good enough, he'll finish it out in the ninth.
That's the job. To me, that's the job. And it's always been the job of the skipper to know what that pitch count is. That way you know when to pull them.
All you need to do is ask, hey, what's my pitch count? Because I felt like I threw a lot. Oh, listen, it's 129. Bet I need to get up out of here. My pitch count too high. And then you go.
And you go.
Oh, well, I mean,
but I felt like that should be the job of the skipper.
Yeah, I was gonna say Willie makes a good point though. That's the job of the skipper, because as a skipper, you're supposed to be like, hey, what's his count at?
Mm-hmm.
If there's anything above 65, hey,
you gotta go. Pull him out.
Right. Which is why I don't mind a AI pitch counter or actual pitch counter. It kind of doesn't really do anything for the game of baseball other than, hey, you've thrown a lot. And if your speed is slowing down after 85, 90 pitches, and I can see it, we're going to pull you and put somebody else in.
I just hate the fact that you have AI coming in here. And again, AI can be manipulated any way you want to manipulate it. I don't care what people say. More people are getting used to it. More people are adjusting. More people are getting educated on it. And for it to be used in, let's say, like a real important playoff game or in a Super Bowl, and I just hate it. I just hate it. The human element matters. The human factor matters. And that shouldn't be forgotten. And I just hate the fact that Chat GPT gonna be looking at my Saints getting the first down, and I hate it. I hate it. I hate it.
Right. So the reason why GPT is a bad thing towards baseball, when it's close,
he raised out again.
I didn't rage out.
Oh man,
that was my bad. That was my bad.
Yeah,
man, I thought you raged out. Damn.
No. I feel like probability plays a bad part as AI technology goes in and says this and this. But outside of probability, I don't see a bad thing for AI in baseball. I think AI is needed in baseball. But because probability is mathematics and the computer can be like, hey, look, 95% of the time, it will be this. And 95% of the time, it will be this. Is why I can see there's a problem with AI.
It's that 5%.
Right. But reviewing and everything, no, I mean, I don't see where there's a problem. So
this I just prefer you keep it out of sports. That's just my thing. That's just my thing. You know, if it sounds old school, then so be it. But you know,
I don't want to keep it out of sports, but I kind of want to keep the integrity of making bad calls a thing, because there's always been bad calls.
Yep,
I can understand that point.
And some of those bad calls have been legendary.
That's true. That's true.
Some
bad calls,
not all.
They shaped a lot of the sport history.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, it's an interesting thing. Shoot, I'm on the fence because it's going to be interesting to see just how it's being used, and just how accurate it is. But at the same time, fuck the chain gang, okay? Because them bitch ass niggas caused me and the Raiders a motherfucking playoff spot, okay? With that goddamn index card. All right, that bitch ass nigga pulled out that fucking index. He knew goddamn well it was a motherfucking I slapped shit at him. That nigga pulled out that fucking index card.
He messed up your parlay, didn't he?
Bro, not even a parlay, bro. We was to the off, bro. We was supposed to go to the play. All we had to do was beat the Cowboys. And that's the cool part about it. It was against the fucking Cowboys. Yep. You don't know damn well. Do you know how many Cowboy fans I had to hear? Not for just a week, but for a whole goddamn year talking about we beat y'all, and then they was pulling out fucking index cards looking like, oh yeah, look, this I slapped shit out of it. I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. I fucking RKO you niggas, bro. So fuck the chain gang, okay? I ain't even gonna hold you. Y'all get on my nerves because y'all cost me a playoff spot and y'all cost me a victory.
You'll be all right, dog. Don't worry.
You'll be okay. You'll be okay.
Bro, it was horrible. And I was living in Texas at the time. Oh my
god. In other news, Jaguars release Evan Ingram.
See, and we talked about that earlier. I don't get that either. Because you telling me, and I told Mute this earlier, you tell me Sunshine supposed to be this generational quarterback. He needs somebody to throw the ball to. And right now, Evan Ingram was his security blanket. He's just coming off 2 seasons removed to having what? 200 some having a damn good season. And I know injuries has gotten in the way. Damn.
Well,
that don't make no sense to me.
It doesn't to me either.
And then ETN ain't what ETN is barely holding on. He barely holding on.
Telling you, that boy hamstring damn near melted off the bone already. Man, he's running.
ETN is on Jacksonville, right?
Yeah, Travis Etienne.
For now. They
Yeah, for
Okay,
now.
so like,
Yeah.
I just don't. I don't see the point in Travis Etienne if you don't think Christian Kirk is better.
Well, I mean, they got Chris. No, not anymore. Shit, I don't even. And that's the thing with the Jags. I just don't know what they're doing. Like, who are you gonna throw it to? Obviously, you're gonna go receiver heavy in the draft, because you only got Brian Thomas Jr. over there. No
Yep.
more Evan Ingram because we know that was freaking Sunshine's favorite target.
He was.
I don't know if they trust Tank Bigsby. Like I said, Travis Etienne don't got no hamstring no more. His hamstrings already melted off his goddamn tendon, so he's just running.
Plus, I don't think
athletic.
Tank Bisbee is big enough to be an everyday back either.
I don't think he has the durability.
I don't think he does to be an every down back.
But yeah, I mean, we definitely are going to see. We got Trey Hendricks. He was allowed to seek a trade. Today.
That's another team. That need to go. Who need to focus on linemen.
Hey, I guess
that's another team that need to focus on linemen.
You franchise tag T Higgins. You let Trey
bullshit
walk,
move.
that's so fucking.
That's a bullshit move. Pay that man. Come on now. You don't get that man a franchise tag 2 seasons in a row.
Pay the man, dog. Pay him. Pay fucking Jamar Chase. Or let one. If you only gonna pay one and not the other, let one of them walk.
Yeah.
Don't just maintain him and hold him and just and keep him the fuck out, bro. Like, pay the man, dog. Obviously, he showed up for work, right? Even after he's asked to be paid and y'all still didn't pay him. So give the man his damn money. Give the man his damn money. And let's be on with it.
My only issue with T Higgins, he has somewhat of a little bit of an injury history.
Just a little bit.
It's just a little bit. It's not anything that's huge, but it's glaring. But still, pay the man.
Give the man his money, man.
Yep.
Give the man his money.
I don't know if I agree with y'all yet. And people can say what they want to say, but we have not seen T Higgins outside of the shadow of Jamar Chase.
So do you think he needs to prove himself by himself first?
I truly believe T Higgins is a 1B or a 2A, and he can be. So yeah, I do think he needs to he needs to be able to prove himself as a 1A, because the offense obviously is better every time Jamar Chase is healthy.
That's true.
So I don't think T Higgins has enough snaps as the number 2 to prove he's a number 1.
But see, my issue is this though, because if you look at it, particularly back in the day, if you go back a couple of seasons, he's always been protected at that 2 spot. Because if you look at it, his number 3, before he left for Tennessee, Travis Boyd was his number 3 right behind him, and you got Chase as the number 1, and he's kind of been protected in that role. So I sort of kind of see, and then not having a tight end. I mean, Gesicki's okay, but not having a legitimate tight end who can stretch the field, he should be eating even more than what he has been. So yeah, I get your point.
I'm not gonna lie, that's valid. That's very valid, bro.
I get your point.
You're thinking about why he would want money like that, and why somebody would pay him money like that. When DJ Michael B is right, we haven't seen enough snaps from you to prove that you are worth number 1 money or number 1B money. Even though we definitely think you can be, but we haven't seen enough from you. But look,
let's look at the team. Look at the team we're talking about. How many players has been screwed over by this team? And we can go back to the days of Corey Dillon. This team has screwed over so many players when it comes to paying them. It's as far as the front office is concerned, in my opinion, it's a trash organization, and they need to get better. And another team, just like Michael was talking about, the Texans need an offensive line. This team need an offensive line like no other, because you can't have a generational quarterback back there, and he don't have 2 seconds to throw the football. They losing games 35-34. So get your defense right, get the offensive line right, and then work it from there.
I'm not gonna lie. I think that's fair.
And start the season off better. Don't go 0-4, 0-5 to start the freaking season. We've seen that past 2-3 years. They start off slow.
Yeah. Keeping it football.
That's another thing about the Bengals. They start off too slow.
Yep. And by that
And
time
they're
they
playing
get up there,
catch up football for the rest of the year.
Yep.
We're gonna keep it football and talk. I don't know how much you guys watched the combine over this past week.
I caught a little bit of it. Not much, but a little bit of it.
But how are we feeling about these prospects coming up? Anybody that kind of jumps out at you guys?
Not me.
I mean, outside of some of these defensive linemen going crazy on the 40, I mean, nobody has stood out to me. I'm not a person who invests much in the NFL Combine. And let me tell you why, right? If you can play football, you can play football. That's just how I feel about it. If you can play, Marvin Harrison Jr. wasn't the fastest. Probably wasn't he was probably the best outcome, but he wasn't the fastest. He didn't have the best route trees or none of that. What you saw though was he probably ran a route tree the best coming out of college. He knew how to create separation, and he could catch the ball, right? I think people break this thing down into too much where they overvalue a player's intangibles over what he does on the field. Perfect example. I'm a Texans fan. Perfect example is Jadeveon Clowney and Mario Williams. Scored the highest shit at the combine. But people neglect to watch the film on both of them. Jadeveon Clowney, yes, high speed, high whatever, but he was a hit and miss player. If he didn't get the big play up front, he got burnt on the backside. Same thing with, and Cowboys fans are going to hate me for this, but it was the same thing with Trayvon Diggs on defense. Yeah, 1 year he was top 5 MVP voting, and people were saying he should be the defensive player of the year because he had the most interceptions. That's cool. But in the same sentence, the year he had the most interceptions, what did he do? Give up the most yards and most touchdowns by a cornerback in the NFL. So, and he scored high at the combine. So all that comes back to say, just because you're standing out the combine doesn't mean you're going to be good at what you do. Intangibles essentially develop how good you're going to be. I'm not saying your raw ability and skills, how fast you are and stuff like that, don't matter. But if you can't use those skills and use your experience to maximize that, it doesn't matter. Because what you're getting is you're getting beat by slower players. You're getting beat by faster. The receivers are beating faster defenders in that sense. And I just don't think that's important enough on the combine. I don't care how high you jump. I don't care how fast you run. I don't care how many balls you intercept. I don't care about none of that. I'm looking at straight one-on-ones. Can the receiver deceive the defender? Can the defender see a deception and catch it ahead of time and not be deceived? Because a lot of people are looking at raw numbers, and that's not what the combine is about. Because if that was the truth, Jamarcus Russell would have been the greatest NFL quarterback of all time.
That's a fair point.
Facts.
So I think it matters. I think they have some standouts. The only person that is a top probably 10 player that I was impressed with was probably Travis Hunter. That's it. None of the other top 10 players in the draft right now, I wasn't impressed with none of them. Travis Hunter impressed me because he killed it on both sides, whether it was defense or offense, in anything he did. Now, I'm not saying that's going to mean he's going to be great on both sides of the football, because I think he's going to be a way better defender than he would be a receiver. But I think his experience as a defender will give him an aid in receiving, because I think he'll be able to see, react, and fake on what he's going to do as a receiver, because he's also a defender that has to react. But as far as the rest of them go, no, nobody stood out. You had some fast linemen, which is cool, but just because you're fast don't mean you're going to be good, because a lot of fast linemen get pancaked.
Facts.
That's true.
They get
Really
pancaked. You might be the quickest one up, but you're not strong enough. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, Travis Hunter's the only person that really surprised me in this draft, just because I feel like his intangibles, where I said he needed to only play defense, I feel like his intangibles and offense surprised me to where I'm like, okay, he should play both sides.
Yeah, that's fair. Nobody really stood out to me like that. It wasn't, necessarily a star-studded,
Facts.
combine where there was everybody that was just jumping off the page. I did see, a lot of good, offensive lineman runs, defensive lineman runs, but nothing was really wow, honestly. But I don't really pay too much attention to the combine or really much to pro day. Film doesn't lie. Anything that I need to see on the combine or anything I need to evaluate, I can just get off game tape. And then we can obviously go forward with the evaluation after they get drafted and get you into a real program. And, going up against some actual pros and some vets. So we'll see. Draft is coming up. I think that's what everybody's most anticipating, most excited for, with all the talk of Cam, Ward, Shador, Travis, who's going to go first, who's going to go number one. Just all of the order of basically the top 10, maybe even the top 15, because there's a lot of good players that are supposed to go. We'll definitely be covering that more tomorrow inside the huddle. But before we get out of here, fellas, I know everybody's seen or at least heard about the controversial fight that took place over the weekend with Gervonta Davis and one Lamont Roach Jr. Gervonta takes a knee due to what he claimed grease being in his eye from all the sweat that he acquired. Everybody feels like that should have been a knockdown because in other instances that people have tried to claim that if you do take a knee on the canvas, it is considered a knockdown. But that is only if a punch is involved. If the punch is not involved and the boxer voluntarily takes a knee, that is not considered a knockdown. That is per rules of the boxing, the Commission of Boxing, WBC, WBA, WBO, et cetera, et cetera. But with talks of a rematch looming, do we think that this is a rematch that we need to see, or do we need to do like everybody has been saying and bring boxing back to where it has been, bring boxing back to the pinnacle, get everybody the fights that they want to see? Shakur Stevenson, sorry, and Tank Davis, right? We already know that we have a Ryan Garcia and Devin Haney rematch looming. So do you guys think that this rematch is needed for a settlement, or does boxing need to get back to its pinnacle and start giving us the matchups that we all want to see, the high flying, high prospect, high rating matchups?
As an old school guy, I'm thinking it should be, let's bring back the sport to the pinnacle for the fans. Unless the rematch is just going to be so incredible, unless that rematch is just going to be something that is going to be must see TV, bring boxing back to its pinnacle, bring it back to the fans. It's been lacking for so long. Bring it back to the fans.
DJ, how we feeling?
Willie, you got a point. And let me tell you why you got a point. You got a point because you're sitting on both sides of this. You say bring boxing back to what it was, right?
Mm-hmm.
But if Tank almost lost to this person, everybody and they drew and they had a draw. Everybody wants the rematch because it was so close.
Right. And again, if the rematch is going to be something to draw that attention, go for it. But if it's not going to be something that's going to draw that attention, leave it be.
I think the rematch is going to draw that attention again because let's be serious here.
It could.
Floyd didn't have a draw. And they were talking about Tank might be the person to go 52-0, 53-0, and then he drew a draw. And everybody's like, oh, shit. They need to run it back because if they run it back, we'll have a winner and a loser. And I absolutely think they should run it back. Now, going forward after this match, I think they need to take boxing back to old school. This is the number one contender for this. And here's the champion. The champion fights the number one contender. Floyd changed all that, right?
Yep.
The UFC is successful the way it is because no matter what, nobody has outside agents picking and choosing their fights. What's going on is these two guys fought. This nigga won. That's who the champion is fighting.
Yep.
It's not like that in boxing no more. So yeah,
no,
there's some reform needed in boxing. And people say what they want to. Let me ask you a question, Moo. Did Muhammad Ali lose?
Mm-hmm.
He did lose. He lost a couple of times.
He lost that. Yeah, he did.
And Floyd Mayweather's undefeated, right?
Yes, he is.
But who does everybody say is the best of all time?
Muhammad Ali.
Even though he lost. And I'm tired of fighters ducking and dodging, all that. I give all respect to Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury. They went for who were on top. They had their trilogy. Tyson Fury won. We moved on. And everybody paid Deontay Wilder his respects.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
If Roach is the hardest fight of Tank's career and they never run it back, everybody is going to say, hey, Tank ran because Roach was the hardest fight of his career and he didn't run it back because they had a draw. He didn't win. He didn't lose. Let's run him back and get a loser or winner. And it's annoying just because when you draw, it's like, so the people on the left side are going to stay on the left side. The people on the right side are going to stay on the right side. But even if it's just 4 or 5 people that cross over to the right side and say Roach won, there you go. Roach wins.
That's true.
Facts.
So
Big facts.
I think it needs to go back to the old days, where they don't get to hire outside promoters. I think they gave Floyd, and I've always said this, I think they just gave Floyd too much power to where he could pick and choose who he wanted to fight.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Now, did Floyd fight a whole bunch of former champions? Yes, he did, and I fucking love Floyd. Let me get it out of the way. I love Floyd. But do I kind of feel like he fought a lot of them past their primes. Yes, I do. But I'm also not naive to the fact that I don't think because Manny Pacquiao fought him and knocked him out or whatever doesn't mean he's better than Floyd, right? I'm not that damn naive. I tell people all the time, Ricky Hatton, Floyd knocked Ricky Hatton out before Manny Pacquiao knocked Ricky Hatton out. You know what I'm saying? They pretty much at the end of their careers fought the same person and either knocked out or won against this person, right? No knock, but I think Floyd is overall better than Manny Pacquiao. I don't think Pacquiao in his prime want to beat Floyd. People say whatever they want to, but last time I checked, Juan Manuel Marquez knocked out Pacquiao straight.
He did. I remember that.
Pacquiao was snoring in the ring. I don't care when the alarm clock went off. He popped up and was like, "All right, let's go." No, you lost. You let your guard down. You got caught and you lost. You were out for 25, 30 seconds. And so I don't think, Moo, that your promoter determines how good you are overall. I think your competition does. And the fact that Pacquiao fought the most champions in history and never lost says a lot. People say whatever they want to about, well, Pacquiao was hurt and had a shoulder injury, and that's why there's clauses in matches, and he didn't do it. He lost, right? So it's not like people might say Floyd ducked and dodged Pacquiao, but he didn't duck and dodge any other champion. So I don't think it has to be anything else. Tank ain't ducking nobody. You know what I'm saying? Tank is fighting whoever people say that's who you should fight next because they got next. Tank, it's not like Tank ducking and dodging. I mean, he has a tie with Roach, but other than that, if that's the case, wasn't Roach the best person out there to fight Tank at the time?
Yeah,
and he took the fight.
That's fair. That is absolutely fair.
Who else were you going to put up there instead of Roach?
Everybody wanted to see Shakur Stevenson, but with him just coming back to boxing a few years ago, I just don't think that would have garnered the attention.
I'm happy. I'm happy you said everybody wanted to see Shakur Stevenson, because last time I checked, it was Shakur Stevenson's camp that turned down the fight.
True.
It wasn't Tank.
This is true. That's
right.
True.
So
That's true.
They can't say anything about Tank ducking and dodging fights. They said, hey, and that was another thing, Moo, and I know you're going to agree to this, right? They said, well, he won't fight Ricky Hatton. All right, I'll take Ricky. Well, you won't fight this person. All right, I'll take him. Why Floyd won't fight Sugar Shane? Okay, I'll take him. But all of a sudden, when he wins, that person's too old. He's too slow. But 10 years ago, he could have done this, and that. No, because before the fight started, all of y'all motherfuckers thought they could beat Floyd Mayweather.
Fair. That's true. They did.
And before the fight started, all of y'all thought this person will be Tank. No, I don't. Would I love for it to go back to the old way where everybody was fighting everybody, no matter the number one contender? Yes. But people forget they want Tank to cross weight classes. They're like, why he won't fight Bud? Because Bud is a fucking light heavyweight. Borderline heavyweight. Right? And Tank is too small. Is he faster? Most likely. But come on, man.
This is why we have weight classes.
Yep.
This is why
it's not how it was back in the day when people ate bad, everybody ate junk food, and everybody was a freaking heavyweight. Everybody's not all the good fighters aren't heavyweights no more. all the good fighters aren't light heavies. All the good fighters aren't welters or junior heavyweight. All the good fighters are spread out so much. It's like, what do y'all want to do? Because the catch weight is so small for, like, I think Bud walks around naturally at 140, 145 to 160. Light heavyweight to welterweight. Tank is not a light heavyweight or a welterweight. He's not. He's a lightweight.
It's just called
flyweight because he's short.
Like, we can't have fights that don't make sense. And a Bud Tank fight it just doesn't make any sense. Now, I know we were supposed to get into this WWE, but
hold on. Before we don't get into WWE, we can at least talk about the John Cena part.
We can. That's what I was gonna say. We can talk about this amazing heel turn that we just got, which is going to lead into the next event that we are going to get, which is ultimately WrestleMania, happening April 19th, 2025 in Vegas. Okay. Now, this is a crazy twist for a lot of people, even though he kind of hinted at it. But for me personally, this is one of the greatest things that I've seen, because we're finally going to get to see everybody's hero kind of turn into the villain that everybody doesn't really like to, hates to love to see. So with somebody with the stature of John Cena, it's like Willie said, it's like NWO. It's like Hulk Hogan, and I know
best heel turn since '96.
I know '96 Hulk Hogan, but it's literally the best heel turn since '96, man.
I think the only heel turn that was better was Austin and Mania 17. I think that was better, but other than that,
honestly, and I think when it comes to runs, this might be, depending on how long he goes, this might be one of the greatest runs that we've seen as far as,
because 17 is coming. 17 is coming.
It has to be.
It's gotta be. It's gotta be.
It has to be. I don't think.
And it also, and let's look at it on the back end. It also protects Cody Rhodes, because now that John Cena is a heel, he can take the heel tactics to beat Cody.
Mm-hmm.
So it wouldn't hurt Cody if he did drop that title, and he will drop that title, because you don't do all this without leading to that.
Yeah. Go ahead, DJ Micah B. What you thinking?
You need to fix that ball spot too, by the way. Fix the ball spot. Fix the ball spot, man.
What ball spot? Man.
John Cena got a ball spot. You ain't never seen it? He need to fix that. Yeah. He need to fix that ball spot. Fix it.
How I feel about John Cena turning heel?
F them kids.
You know what? Here's what I'll say. I will say, I absolutely fucking love it.
Hell yeah.
Let me tell you why. John Cena's been wanting to turn heel for a long time. John Cena's natural, his natural character was heel as Doctor of Thugonomics.
Yep.
Right? He's a better heel than he ever was a hero to kids. The only reason why he was a hero to kids was because of that damn song and the catchphrase, hustle, loyalty, respect. Well, guess what? Hustle, loyalty, respect is still something hood niggas aim for. It was perfect. I absolutely loved it. Will he win the title of WrestleMania? I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't know. I don't know. Do I think he should? Probably not. Probably not.
My only reason why I say that is because this whole Cody Rhodes title run is getting boring. You need this to happen. You need this to happen. He's
I don't
done with
think Cody.
he's done with Kevin Owens.
I don't think Cody Rhodes' title run is that boring though. As far as him being a champion, I just don't think there has been, and I don't want people to take this the wrong way. I just don't think there's been enough talent wise to challenge him. Like, I think the person that would have been perfect to challenge Cody Rhodes is probably Gunther, and they're on separate brands.
Right. Right.
Outside of Roman Reigns.
Gunther did to that man on the other night, though.
Yeah.
Outside of Gunther and Roman Reigns, the only person I could realistically see beating Cody Rhodes is probably Jacob Fatu.
And see, we talked about that.
Jacob.
We talked about that the other day, and that's a good point. My only issue with that, though, they might see him as not being ready to take that run just yet.
Right.
And I think that's what they see. But I get you on that.
But
I
don't think like your US champion competitors, Shinsuke, LA Knight, Jacob Fatu, I don't feel like they're ready to take the next jump.
Yeah.
Yet to be the face of whatever brand they're on. I feel like Jay is poised to take over, to be able to take Raw, to take the what is that, World Heavyweight Championship that Gunther has. I think Jay can take the World Heavyweight Championship and be fine for about a month or two in his run. I feel like Raw has the more qualified fighters, right? Which is crazy to me, because if you would have asked me at the beginning of this year who was the better show and who had more qualifications for championships, I would have went with SmackDown. But now that Jacob there, Jey Uso was there, Finn Balor's there, Damian Priest is there, Gunther is the champion and he's there. It kind of, I don't think Gunther should necessarily lose at WrestleMania to Jey Uso, because I just don't think people are going to think it's believable for Jey Uso to win. But more importantly, I don't think there's a single wrestler on the roster that can be Cody Rhodes without help. So if The Rock and shit interferes and all that, and then John Cena wins, I have no problem with that. But if they do a straight up match,
see, and that's what I don't think that happens, because that hurts Cody.
Right,
that hurts Cody.
I don't think they could do a straight up match, because I just don't think anybody right now, and it's not me saying Cody is head and shoulders above everybody. It's me saying, like, yo, outside of Roman Reigns and John Cena, who the fuck can beat Cody Rhodes and be on SmackDown, carry SmackDown?
I feel you.
It ain't LA Knight, and I love LA Knight. LA Knight is exactly where he needs to be.
Yes.
Right there in the mid-card spot. And I love LA Knight. I think LA Knight should be in the mid-card spot. He should get a couple of chances at the WWE Championship on SmackDown in that mid-card tier. I think he's perfect for that. He is. But who else? Who else? And that's the biggest thing. Who else? The only person you could say who else, they keep burying him, which is Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens, but they got them locked up like this in a freaking storyline after the bloodline. So
yeah,
that's true.
Cody Rhodes should retain, and unless, of course, he fights The Rock, and he's not going to fight The Rock. He'll fight with John Cena. I think John Cena could take the belt for a couple of months, drop it to either Solo or Roman, and then move on in life after breaking Ric Flair's record, as he should. break Ric Flair's record. If it was left to me, though, you got the TNA contracts where it's two-way, where you can do TNA or WWE, and they're coming in and out. And I really I think I told us to Moo the other day. Moo, and I think I put this in Gentleman's Talk chat. I feel like it would make more sense for John Cena to go after Joe Hendry and win the TNA championship and make it a 17 title run than it does for him beating John Cena. And than it does for him beating Cody Rhodes and winning the title again on SmackDown. I feel like because Ric Flair's titles outside of WWE matter to his championship total.
Yes.
Tell me now, though, hey, look, this is what's going to happen. John Cena is going to win, and Randy Orton is going to dethrone him, and he'll be one championship less than John Cena and can tie the record. I can fuck with it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Good storyline.
I feel you.
I feel
you. I feel you.
Okay. We gonna say this.
Literally, Randy Orton, Kevin Owens, and John Cena are the only people that can dethrone Cody Rhodes.
And it makes sense. And it makes sense. Yeah.
It does make sense.
Yep.
We're gonna save this. Because I got a really good question for y'all, but I'm gonna save it for next week. We're gonna use that opener because I think it's another question. But we're gonna get our final thoughts started with that man DJ Michael B. Go ahead and kick us off, big dog.
Y'all already know. Y'all tune in to Ish tomorrow when they sit there and talk all the shit inside the huddle. Best damn football show on the internet. Period. Now, I done gave some good. Willie, I don't think you're in the crew chat, but I done gave some good topics to inside the huddle today. This is going on. And before I go, I would just like to say, check out all the shows for the rest of the week and coming back here next week. Monday, Basket to Basket. Tuesday, we're off. Wednesday, Gentleman's Talk. Thursday, right back here for PVT. And, of course, next Friday, as it is tomorrow, y'all check out Inside the Huddle. But I want to end my final thoughts. I want to end my final thoughts with saying this. One act of random kindness can make a difference. And if you've seen Evan Almighty, you know what I'm talking about.
That's valid. I'm not gonna lie to you. That's valid. Both the statement and the movie. Go ahead, Willie.
Fuck Taylor Swift. Fuck Tom Thibodeau. What you doing with the Knicks? You fucking
gotta act of random kindness, Willie.
It's so bad, ain't. Fuck Taylor Swift. Fuck Tom Thibodeau. You doing the same thing with the Knicks that you did with the Bulls, playing all these vets. People going out hurt. Don't forget to check me out every Saturday night, the Geek Outlet Podcast. Monday night, check me out for the Sports Report. Mondays at 10 p.m. on Wild Wild Sports. You can catch me on Coffee and Sports in the morning on Wild Wild Sports, 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. I'm the guest host over there. And you can catch me right back here on Player vs. Team from the Sidelines Podcast. Definitely follow me. Check me out there.
I mean, he's valid in what he says when he talks about the Tom Thibodeau. I'm watching the Knicks right now.
Same thing.
Same exact thing. But like my boy said, make sure y'all check out the rest of the show throughout the rest of the week. Tap in with all my boy Willie podcast because he's bringing some greatness to your screen, some great content to you. Keep liking, keep subscribing, keep commenting. We're gonna keep bringing y'all this dope ass content, and we're gonna see y'all next week. I'm gonna see y'all tomorrow. Peace.